G'day, and welcome to Queensland Farmer. Today we're going to talk about regenerative farming. It's probably a term you've heard before. In essence, it means that it's where the farmers look after the soil. The soil is obviously what the grass grows in, and without good soil, you won't get good grass. We've got plenty of good grass around this place. However, this particular part of the block, it's right at the peak, and simply grass doesn't grow here. I'll show you in a moment, but we've actually got rocks and just bare dirt here. So today what we're going to do is we're going to help with that regenerative process, and we're going to lay down some mulch that I've taken from off farm, and hopefully what we'll do is we'll turn this rock and bare dirt into some mulch, and eventually we'll get some grass to grow. The other benefit of putting this down is that when cattle do finally come into this area, there's going to be some food there that they wouldn't mind having a chew on, and after they've had that chew, they'll obviously poo it out, and that'll provide some fertiliser around this specific area. So as I was saying, the ground here is pretty dry. You can see that it's just down to rock and some dirt and very little grass growing. But hopefully this particular endeavour will turn that around and get those microbes back into the soil, and once again make it healthy and healthy enough for grass to grow. Okay, so I've decided to roll it back this way, mainly because this material, this plastic wrap here that's holding it in place, is going to extend the point to where we want to start the roll out. So I've rolled it back, got the trusty knife out, and I'll cut this off, and hopefully it'll work a bit better this time. Well, that's another roll out, but as you can see it didn't roll very well, but look, that's how it goes. I've used some excess that came out of that roll at the wrong time to cover up where the tracks are that the cattle use to go from one point to another. You can see they're creatures of habit, and over time they break down that grass, break down the topsoil, and suddenly that's where the water runs. So hopefully that will stop the water running down the tracks and causing further erosion, as well as create conditions that mean it's more viable to grow grass and stop this erosion in its tracks. So once again, this is a different part of the property, and you can see that there's quite good grass cover. It's coming up nice and green. The cattle will be coming in here soon. But just here is an area where in the past water has run, and it's probably drawn the cattle in to have a drink when there's been water sitting here, and it started to erode. Now you can see that I've tried to use a little bit of rock just to stop the head wall just here from advancing towards me. And you can also see that there's some sort of lumps of dirt a little bit further down there. And what they are is when I've come across ant nests out in the paddocks that are now extinct, but the nests are still there, I break those up with the front of the tractor and bring them down here and drop them in the hole. They are starting to get a bit of grass on them, which is great, but I think I might trial putting this mulch bale down into this area today, and I'll just keep an eye on it and see what it does. It'll be an interesting experiment. What I think will happen is the water will come down the hill. It'll hit this area here. The head wall isn't exposed. The head wall here isn't exposed, so it shouldn't continue to erode that head wall and let it climb up the hill. It'll certainly slow right down through here, and it may even shift some of the seeds that are in this mulch and send them down and help this type of grass grow elsewhere. Well, this is a small part of regenerative farming, and as I said earlier, this is an experiment. I'll be very interested to see how this goes over time. We're expecting rain over the next few days, which will be nice to see. It has been a little while since we've had some rain, but we'll see how the rain impacts this mulch that we've got down. We'll see how it behaves, and hopefully what we'll see is that the grass will eventually germinate in this area, and there'll be good topsoil to grow grass normally. And the other bit up the top of the hill, well, I'll be interested to see how that turns out. I've seen examples of that done, or something similar to that being done on YouTube, on other videos. But obviously different soil types, different climates and different environments might mean that it won't work here, but I'll certainly let you know in future videos. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this sort of content, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you really feel generous, send it on to somebody else so they can enjoy what I have to say. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.